This is the KAAST Machine Tools F-Grind 6100A. We have it hooked up to 460 volts.
So in order to start the machine, you power it up. Next, what you want to do is start your hydraulic tank. Here's your alarm in order to know if it's not working. Go into the back. Here's your hydraulic tank. There's all letters so you know where it's being hooked up to. And here's the gauge to see the level of the oil in the machine. If your hydraulic tank is not working and your alarm comes up, there's a couple steps you could go over. Firstly, you have to make sure the doors are closed. And you have to make sure the table feed that's left and right is all the way off. Then it should turn on. So here's the power from your hydraulic tank. We're running it behind and underneath the machine where it's safely not touched by the grind. And you can check if it's working properly by coming to the back. We're running it right into the machine. Right. When the hydraulic tank is not working, you look at this red arrow, turn it on, now turn it off. This arrow is pointing clockwise, so you check that the hydraulic motor fan is running in the correct direction. If the phase is incorrect, it'll run in the opposite. What I go over next is magnetizing and demagnetizing. In order to demagnetize or magnetize, you have to be on. And then there's this dial right here where it's neutral, demagnetize, and magnetize. When you want to magnetize, you swap to magnetize. Here's the power of the strength that's magnetizing. Turn it up. You can see the dial went to 100. Now we have a piece of metal, material that's already hooked up. As you can see, I can barely lift up the material. But when I turn it off back to neutral, I can lift it back up again. Demagnetizing is what you want to do when you're done your material. And what you do is you just let your material sit there and it should unmagnetize. To fill the hydraulic tank, you have this right here. It has a filter inside of it to catch things that shouldn't be going inside. And there's Phillips head screws so you can take off the lid. And again, this is the gauge to check your fluids. So this is the water tank. We don't currently have it hooked up right now, but what it does is you can open it right here and fill it with your coolant and water. And what it does is it flows through the whole machine and catches all the pieces of material that you cut off. And it magnetizes all the gunky parts and all the trash and pulls it out and recycles all the good water back towards the bottom of the machine. So I'm turning on and powering up the machine now. And what we're gonna do now is raise the head up on the grind. And as you can see up there, there's a red arrow indicating when you're going to be at the top of the tower, when to stop raising the head. To press both down switches so it doesn't come too close to the material. Now while I'm going down, if you come over here, you can see that there's 3 different down speeds. You have the incredibly slow speed where it's kind of trying to check in case material is below. The very slow speed, but a little bit faster than the first. Then you have the third where it's going down as fast as possible. And as you can see on the head, it's still going slow just for safety. Okay. So this is the reverse thread in order to get the wheel on. We've already got it about 90% out. We're gonna put the wheel on now. All right, go ahead and put the wheel on. So we just put the wheel back on and we're doing a reverse thread to tighten it back on. Okay. Okay. So when it's safely back on, we're not able to close the door because we got to back up. So now we're back in the head up about 1.5 feet, so we're able to close the door. This is the dresser for the wheel. When you lower it after your wheel's been worn down just a little bit, it dresses it back to being flat so you can properly grind your material. So these are the adjusters to how far left and how far right the table can move. In order to engage that, you have to have the power on, the hydraulic on. You have 2 speeds, low and high. For now, we're gonna do low. Now, keep in mind that this won't even start and the hydraulic pump won't start on unless this is all the way down to 0. But now that we're on and everything's working, we're gonna turn on the table. And it's gonna bounce to the left. It's gonna bounce back to the right. And that's 1 full cycle. Now we're in magnetizing. We have no power to the magnetizer. And what we're gonna do is try and start the machine. It won't start because the magnetize is all the way down to 0. In order to keep everyone safe, we want to turn the power up to at least 60. Now the power is at 70 and the spindle should start. Because the material is magnetizing and can't go anywhere, the machine knows it's safe to grind. We are now going to go into automatic. We're going to power on. We're going to turn on the spindle. We're going to turn on the hydraulics. Make sure the hydraulic table is off in order to start. We're going to go into the automatic up mode after it grinds, excuse me. We're going to go into the brake and slowest speed. We're also putting on more up, so when the head is done the material, it raises higher than normal. We're now going to engage the table. For now, we're going to have it on the low speed. Make sure we're on automatic. Make sure that the jog mode is in set and ready to go into automatic. We're going to press start. Now we're going to take into account where the head of the grinder is. It's closer to us, so what we're going to want to do is send it away. You can now see the manual wheel is spinning, so every time a cycle is done, it's going to go farther back. Now, if we go look over here to the back of the machine, you can see a rod that's labeled A and a rod that's labeled B on the side of the head. This has 2 levers under it. And what the levers do is it comes back to the knobs. And the knobs stop it from going too far back or going too far forward. And they are adjustable with little Allen keys underneath. You can now just show that the head is going back left and right. Because when it hits that knob, it's going to stop the machine. I'll tell you when we're going to go to the front of you. Alright, right now it's going to do one more pass and hit the knob, and then the machine is going to stop but keep grinding. All right, now the head will not move further forward or backwards because it crossed the lever. It has now done a full cycle and it's still not moving. So let's head back up towards the front. As you can see, usually a button is lit up when it's activated in automatic. We can now see the head is pushed all the way back. So what we're gonna do, if we wanna continue grinding in automatic, we're just gonna push it to come back towards us. And you can see that the machine is doing the same thing, but this time coming forward. On its cycle and you want to stop the machine, or even if it's during cycle, what you want to do is, instead of just turning the machine off because we don't want to damage anything underneath, we want to shut off the table completely rather than turning off the electric, and shut down one by one. That's it. This is for manual head turning. If you don't want to use the controller, you have to push it in to engage it so it locks. Then you have to turn in order to move the head. And when you let go, it comes out of the locked position. So, locked, unlocked. Every morning when running the machine, I suggest that you have the hydraulics on. And not only that, but in order to make sure the oil is cushioned inside of the machine and everything is layered and oiled up, we suggest that you run the machine for 30 minutes with the hydraulics on and the table shifting left to right.